It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree? You are knowing what you are wanting? Sounded as if you believe that. You are understanding that you are creator, that you live in a vibrational universe, that everything about you is vibrational, that everything that you perceive is interpretation of vibration. That's a big one. Sometimes you agree while you do not really agree. It isn't the easiest thing in the world to be physically focused in a physical environment where you and so many of those who have come before you have done such an excellent job of unconsciously translating vibration into the physical time-space reality equivalent. In other words, what you see with your eyes is a vibrational interpretation. What you hear with your ears, what you smell with your nose, your physical senses are vibrational interpreters, and you are so adept at this vibrational interpretation that you have concluded a reality that somehow in your mind you want to separate from all other vibration. So you see things or perceive things through your physical senses, and then you conclude, this is reality. And we say, there is a whole lot of reality that you are not deciphering only through your physical five senses. You are vibrationally beasts. You are vibrationally based beasts. You are vibrational beings. You are non-physical energy that is focused in a physical environment. We always want to help you to recognize that you are extensions of this non-physical energy. And it is helpful when you begin reaching for that non-physical part of yourself to understand that you are extensions of non-physical energy. And yet, as the extension of non-physical energy that is doing such a marvelous job of translating and therefore concluding, along with all others, this physical environment, it's hard for you, therefore, in most cases, to perceive the non-physical reality. And yet, that is really what we are wanting to assist you in doing, because you are non-physical energies expressing yourselves here. And if you recognize that you are non-physical energies, once you learn how to sense that non-physical source that is you, so that you can deliberately and consciously hold yourself in vibrational harmony with that non-physical energy that is you, then, and only then, do you really begin to live your physical experience in the way that you have intended it. Sometimes our physical friends will say to us, well, is this a real thing? I'm hearing about the Loch Ness Monster, or I'm hearing about a ghost in someone's attic, or I'm hearing about UFOs that are landing in the desert in Arizona. Are they fact or fiction? Are they reality, or are they not reality? And we say, all things are reality. Even if only one is imagining it, it is a reality in the sense that the thought has been offered and someone who has the ability to translate that vibration will perceive it. And it must be fair to say that anything that can be perceived must be reality. And yet our physical friends say, well, unless we are all agreeing about it, then we will not call it reality. And we say, we're wanting to help you to blur that rigid line just a little bit. Because as creators, your reality depends upon what you are willing to imagine and allow. We would not want, as deliberate creators, for you to hold yourself to the limited things that all humans agree about. We would far rather that you use that as the basis to launch your next intention. And if you will loosen up those lines, those rigid lines about what is fact or fiction, or what is real or what is not real, and begin to accept the broader part of who you are, which the majority of humans would say is not real. In other words, while they sense that the non-physical all of you, they accept that the non-physical you of you exists. Many do, in fact, more and more all the time. In fact, we would say most have a sensing that you are much more than you see here in these physical bodies. But if any of your inner beings were to express itself to you, and you were to perceive it, the majority of those that are sitting in who are not perceiving it would not accept it as real. And that is the reason that we are wanting you to understand that you are far more than these physical beings that you see in your physical bodies. There is another part of you that goes beyond your physical senses. That is another physical sense that you don't talk about that much. That is a real reader of vibration. In fact, it is the best reader of vibration that you have within you in understanding your source energy and how you relate to your source energy. When you accept that you are non-physical energy expressing itself in a physical body, and so here you are as an extension of this non-physical energy, and when you understand that this non-physical part of you is as much of you as any part of you that you recognize in your physical body, and when you make a determination that you are wanting to know your connection to that non-physical part of you that is connected to source energy, that is connected to infinite intelligence, that is connected to that which many call God, when you understand that all of this is connected together, then it may become more important to you to recognize that your emotions tell you everything that you would ever want or need to know about your connection with source energy. As you stand here in your physical bodies, you are examining the content of your time-space reality. You are perceiving it, you are examining it, you are observing it, you are remembering it, you are poking around in it, you are concluding from it. And as you are examining this variety of stuff and coming to conclusions about it, when your source energy is a part of that experience, you are more alive. That eagerness or passion is about you being a vibrational match to the whole of you. When you watch people walking around who are tired or discouraged, or who are blameful or angry about something, they are in that moment but a shadow of who they really are, because they are choosing thoughts or choosing vibrations, which they then include within their mix, that causes them to be different enough from the source that is really them, that they are only allowing a part of who they are to shine through. So when you visit with them, or when you are one of them, you are not anywhere near the full being that you intended as you came forth into this physical experience. As you are reaching more deliberately for thoughts that cause feelings within you that you would conclude as love or appreciation or anticipation or eagerness, as you deliberately reach for things and feel them out with your sensors and try your best to find thoughts, whether they are in your past, present, or future, that make you feel good while you are focused upon them, then what you're actually doing is practicing the art of allowing who you really are to flow through you. For some time we've been calling this gathering the science of deliberate creation, because we are wanting you to practice all kinds of methods in order to deliberately create or project your own experience. And we think that title has served us all very well, as it has made you more aware that you can deliberately choose thought. But we are adding an equally powerful and important subtitle to this, because we are wanting to highlight a part of it that many of you are missing. And that's why we are now giving this workshop the title of The Art of Allowing. Because unless you are practicing the art of allowing who you really are to flow through you, then you are this shadow of a being. Then you are this partial being. Then you are this disconnected, not allowing the fullness of who you are being. When you are tuned in, tapped in, turned on to the source energy that is really you, you have clarity. You have vitality. You have feelings of well-being. You have experience of well-being. Because what you are thinking and what you are feeling is therefore allowing the energy that is really you to flow through you. We are all living in a vibrational universe that is attraction-based. And what that means is there is no assertion. There is only attraction. So any point of consciousness, that means you, who is offering a vibration, is literally summoning, by law of attraction, other vibrations that match it. So much so that it is always accurate to say that what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling and what I'm getting in terms of manifestation are always a vibrational match. Because law of attraction, this powerful law, many hundreds of thousands of times, you can't even quantify its power, more powerful than your gravity or your earthly laws that you recognize as being powerful and important. This law of attraction is such a significant law that it affects all vibration universally. So it is not possible for you, ever, or anyone else, to be an exception from law of attraction. Therefore, it is always accurate to say what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling is always, without exception, a vibrational match. So, as we talk about deliberate creation, we see some of our physical friends worried about what they are doing. In other words, as we teach you to be more deliberate about your thought, sometimes your thoughts scare you. You're afraid that you might think a thought that might have attraction within it, that might bring to you something that you do not want. And we say, your basis of experience is so much about well-being that you do not need to be guarded. You have latitude to peruse. You have latitude to sift through the data. In fact, that's what you intended. You are a deciphering being. You are a focuser of energy. That's what a creator is. A creator is one who stands wherever he is standing, looks at the variety which causes him, her, you know it is all the same, to feel a determination or a decision or a desire form within you. And you are doing that hundreds of thousands of times in every day and not knowing it on many levels of vibration. In other words, you cannot help but perceive and conclude. You are cellularly concluding. You are consciously, mentally concluding. And with each one of these conclusions, there is a summoning or a pulling power. In other words, you cannot perceive without concluding preference, and every preference is recognized and answered. So when you say, in your religious connotation, ask and it is given, we say, oh boy, are those words ever accurate. But what we are wanting to help you to understand is that you are not necessarily asking with your words, while you might. Asking with your words helps when you are a vibrational match to the words that you are asking, but the universe is not responding to your words because the universe does not even know your language. The universe is responding to the language of your vibration. And the best way for you to recognize the language of your vibration is by getting to know the language of your feelings. Your emotions are letting you know your vibrational content. There are two factors within your emotions that are important for you to know. One is, how much of the non-physical energy is my focused desire summoning right now? In other words, if I just got a new idea yesterday, somebody was doing something and they said, I'm doing this, and I looked at it and I said, hey, that might be a nice idea. There's a little bit of pulling power in that idea. In other words, it just popped up. It's not that big a deal. It could happen or not happen. Don't really care. Nice if it happens. Don't care if it doesn't. There's not a lot of pulling power in that sort of a desire. That's a very soft desire. Not much power behind it. But what about a desire that was born within you when you were 12, and you talked about it to your friends, and you thought about it a lot, and you wake up thinking about it, and you go to bed thinking about it, and you've gathered books about it, and now, all of these years later, it is still a desire that is within you, and you are looking forward to its manifestation. That desire has huge pulling power. Now, it does not take years to amass pulling power. It just takes some deliberate focus that is not contradicted by its opposite. In other words, you can't say, I want a new red car, but I can't afford it, and get much pulling power going on. But when you begin to focus upon something, and you stay focused upon it over a period of time, and you don't do much to contradict it, this desire becomes a very powerful point of attraction, and you might say it has a lot of pulling power. Well, that pulling power, you can feel pulling power in your emotion. When you feel strong emotion, it means there's a lot of pulling power, whether the emotion feels good or bad, whether it is exhilaration or whether it is rage. When you feel strong emotion, it means this really, really matters. There's lots of attention that's been focused upon it, and you are summoning big-time energy through you.